Jim Bush, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a big round of applause for Jim Bush.
Thank you. Check. Start off with a song about my hometown where I was raised by a strange religious cult. They were called Baptist. And they didn't believe in drinking or dancing or mixed swimming. Kind of all the things that have come to be my favorite things. But anyway, I escaped and became a fringe hippie. Never quite earned my beads and tie-dyes, but I'm working on it because hippies are a little extravagant in some ways, but hippie family values of love and peace are pretty good. Anyway, it's called Little Bitty Town. Oh, I come from a little bitty town, little bitty minds eating chicken on the ground on a Sunday after getting out of church. The preacher used to scare us all half to death, talking about hell nearly wetting my pants every Sunday in a little bitty town. Yeah, we got bypassed by the interstate loop, and the train don't stop like it used to do. The grocery closed and the blacksmith died. The rest of the world don't know we're alive, but we don't care in a little bitty town. Hey, I come from a little bitty town. Everybody knows anytime you turn around, no secrets, just forget about that. The gossip flies around like mosquitoes in June. No need to mind your business cause they'll do it for you. That's the way it is in a little bitty town. Yeah, we got bypassed by the interstate loop, and the train don't stop like it used to do. The grocery closed and the blacksmith died. The rest of the world don't know we're alive, but we don't care in a little bitty town. Yeah, I come from a little bitty town. Spent my summer nights out running round. It was safe back then when the doors were never locked. Cruising neath the moon on a hot rod swing. The girl next door told me all about sin in the shadows of a little bitty town. We got bypassed by the interstate loop, and the train don't stop like it used to do. The grocery closed and the blacksmith died. The rest of the world don't know we're alive. We don't care in a little bitty town. Nah, we don't care in a little bitty town. Thank you. Got this kid down here eating peanuts in front of me. You know how much I like peanuts. Well, it's raining tonight on the Ouachita Mountains. The water runs off of the oak and the pine. We're warm and dry here in our little cabin. There's a log on the fire. We're doing just fine. Now the river is singing a song of white water. Over shallows and boulders the waves leap and play. Down through the holler and into the valley. Across the low water ford that was dry yesterday. Across the low water ford that was dry yesterday. Now the lightning lights up the old barn on the hillside, and the thunder rolls on and it's quiet once again. Except for the rain falling slow on the rooftop from the oceans of heaven where the rain all began. It's raining tonight on the Ouachita Mountains. It'll rain till the dawn of another new morn. Filling the old pond, reviving the garden, giving new life to the carrots and the corn. Giving new life to the carrots and the corn. Well, somewhere they're fighting in the streets of the city, and the sirens are howling at the cold neon light, while we listen to the rhythm of the rain on the cabin like a soft lullaby in the Ouachita night. It's rocky and rough back here on the mountain. It's a long way to town and it's hard to complain. Why we love living here in this land of wild water, in the slow living rhythm of the Ouachita rain. In the slow living rhythm of the Ouachita rain. In the slow living rhythm. Thank you. Well, it's blue stem and bleached bones, water holes and gray dawns are the patterns of the pictures he paints in his head. Long rides and rawhide, alone in the starlight, you can read his life story by the book in his eyes. He's a relic forsaken since the old ways were taken by the fences and highways, fast-moving trains. He was too late arriving, now he's too late leaving, and the only way out is to live in a dream. So it's back to the prairie, out in the tall grass where the horses are hobbled and the fire's burning bright. You got to close your eyes harder, put the world back in order as the buffalo dreamer goes riding tonight. Now it's coyotes and wagon spokes, acres of scrub oak. Was a hard life, but a good life for a free rambling man. Once you have tasted the fruits of your freedom, there ain't nothing much left but to sow the same seed. So it's back to the prairie, out in the tall grass where the horses are hobbled and the fire's burning bright. You got to close your eyes harder, put the world back in order as the buffalo dreamer goes riding tonight. Just close your eyes harder, put the world back in order. The buffalo dreamer, he's riding tonight. Thank you. Well, the sun was high and the sky was blue, but I put on the walking shoes. I hit the road with a steady gait. Gotta be somewhere, can't be late. Gonna see my baby, sweet honey child, next county over, about 20 miles. Down through the holler and across the draw, up steepest mountain in Arkansas. And I'm moving fast as water in the river down below, slip sliding off the shoulder on the low side of the road. I got 20 Yankee dollars and a steaming head of mash, and I ain't slowing down till I see Marie at last. Well, I heard the thunder and I saw the flash. The sky fell open, it came down fast. But I kept on moving through the wind and rain, thinking about my baby to forget the pain. The creek was high and the way was low when I came to the old crossroads. But I made a run and I pushed right on with a body weak, but love that's strong. And I'm moving fast as water in the river down below, slip sliding off the shoulder on the low side of the road. I got 20 Yankee dollars and a steaming head of mash. I ain't slowing down till I see Marie at last. Yeah, I'm moving fast now, picking up the pace. I ain't got no time now for second place, 'cause the moon is waning and the shadows grow dark as a grave down in the hickory grove. Just a little longer, I'll see a sign from the cabin window in the cold old light. In another hour, her face I'll see, my little darling will shine for me. So I'm moving fast as water in the river down below, slip sliding off the shoulder on the low side of the road. I got 20 Yankee dollars and a steaming head of mash. I ain't slowing down till I see Marie at last. No, I ain't slowing down, boys, till I see Marie at last. Thank you. So these are all songs off my CD. I've got some available if anybody would like one. It's a real good CD. I liked it so much I bought 1,000 copies. But I've got plenty to share. This one's about a little fantasy trip downtown in a small town, looking for a friend and not been able to find one. It's called Night on the Town. Well, I went downtown to find myself some fun, and I looked around, but I didn't see no one that I knew. So I kicked a can as I walked across the street. Tried to whistle, but it hung up in my teeth. So I winked, started singing some song I never knew. I got stared at like a monkey in a burned out zoo. So I grinned, then I turned around, started walking back the other way. I met a bum and I asked if he could spare some change. He jumped back. I shuffled along in the neon light. The thoughts in my head, they were itching for a fight. I had to shut them down before they got out of hand. Man, this town is deader than a roadside dog. I'd be down if it wasn't for my trusty hog motorcycle. If I really had one, I'd ride it on home. Call myself up on the telephone, ask myself out for a night on this town. I bought a pickle, stuck it in the side of my mouth. Tried to light it up, but the flame just fizzled out. Imagine that. I did a bogey, started thinking about Lauren Bacall. Quoted Shakespeare with a Mississippi Southern drawl. Romeo, found a gold watch that turned into a bottle cap. It wouldn't keep good time, so I traded it in for a nap. What a deal. And I closed my eyes and acted like Ray Charles. Walked into the street, created quite a traffic snarl. Hey, I'm trying to walk here. I shuffled along in the neon light with thoughts in my head that were itching for a fight, and to shut them down before they got out of hand. Man, this town is deader than a roadside dog. I'd be down if it wasn't for my trusty hog motorcycle. If I really had one, I'd ride it on home. Call myself up on the telephone, ask myself out for a night on this town. Night on this town. Oh yeah, a night on this town. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. This is kind of a story of what happens to too many little towns, I guess. I'm kind of against progress, I guess. Or what passes for it. Well, the dreams blow like paper down the main street of town, and I hardly recognize old friends of mine climbing carpet ladders or on the way down, while I hang with a man in the moon. Now they sell cappuccino from the hamburger stand. Santa Falls drugstore is a fashion boutique, growing two-story houses from the fertile farmland, while I hang with a man in the moon. And it's one for the money, two for the show. This old town don't feel the same anymore. It's three to get ready before it's all gone, while I hang with a man in the moon. I remember James Dean and the last picture show at the Lone Star Drive-In out on Route 64, and the date that I had with a sleepy-eyed blonde when we hung with a man in the moon. Now the drive-in's a memory that the highway cut through. That girl's just a dream I once had back in school. I know everything changes. Hell, I'm probably just crazy to hang with a man in the moon. 'Cause it's one for the money, two for the show. This old town don't feel the same anymore. It's three to get ready before it's all gone, while I hang with the man in the moon. While I hang with the man in the moon. Here's to the man in the moon. Thank you. I brought a harmonica. I guess I might as well try to play it. Although I know there are better harmonica players right in front of me. Is one of them. I was sitting at a bar the other night talking to this good-looking lady. And I said, "So what do you find attractive in a man?" And she said, "Well, I like a sense of humor." I said, "I got that." So what else? She said, I want a man who can love me for just like I am. I said, "I can do that." What else? She said, "Well, I'd like for him to have money." I said, "Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Is there anything else?" And she said, "Yeah, most important of all, the 3 of them should never meet." But this is the title song off of my CD. It's called Love, Time, and Distance. All of my old lovers are hanging out their laundry, hoping that the light of day might do it all some good. There's things that I might say to them if I but had the courage, but it's not my place or time to waste. I got no room to talk. But it was all good for a while. Now it takes a little distance, a few more miles and minutes, we might find it all again. Familiar is the enemy who creeps into the kitchen, stirs up desperation and rides off on the wind. Now the years all run like desperados looking for a hideout, looking for a no man's land somewhere outside the law. If all is fair in love and war, then we won't be convicted. But if we're wrong, I'd wager that we'll dangle from a tree. But it was all good for a while. Now it takes a little distance, a few more miles and minutes, we might find it all again. Familiar is the enemy who creeps into the kitchen, stirs up desperation and rides off on the wind. I see the sad, tired faces of old memories in the shadows, whispering behind my back as if I ever cared. At least that's what I tell myself when I'm not feeling easy. It's easier than facing up to faces I've undone. But it was all good for a while. Now it takes a little distance, a few more miles and minutes, we might find it all again. Familiar is the enemy who creeps into the kitchen, stirs up desperation and rides off on the wind. Stirs up desperation and rides off on the wind. Thank y'all. Down in the darkest part, that's where I left my heart. Down where the desperate people go. Don't try to find your way, I got nothing left to say, and the only word that matters now is no. Life's too long for all this wasting time. Take care of your own, I'll take care of mine. I don't want a second chance from anyone. As to where I'm going, I'm just gone. Keep intentions to yourself, put your dreams back on the shelf. I don't want to hear them anymore. It don't matter what you say, words are only in the way, and all I hear is mumbling at my door. Life's too long for all this wasting time. Take care of your own, I'll take care of mine. I don't want a second chance from anyone. As to where I'm going, I'm just gone. The world is only full of noise, crying with an empty voice. It's only people talking in their sleep. Same old lies and alibis makes it easy to decide there ain't a promise left that's worth to keep. Life's too long for all this wasting time. Take care of your own, I'll take care of mine. I don't want a second chance from anyone. As to where I'm going, I'm just gone. As to where I'm going, I'm just gone. Thanks. I just like to throw a happy one in every once in a while. Did y'all ever think we'd see the price of gasoline get higher than the price of whiskey? At least the kind I drink. We have to go back to horses. I'm going to a place nobody knows of, way back across the river in the trees, to a hideout where no one will ever find me. But in those hills at last I will be free. But oh, what I would give for a fast horse, a rolling thunder pushing from behind. Wide open spaces out before me, and not a single fence to break my stride. been living like some modern desperado in a world that I can't seem to understand. Born into a century of madness where the devil seems to have the upper hand. And oh, what I would give for a fast horse and a rolling thunder pushing from behind. Wide open spaces out before me, and not a single fence to break my stride. There's a place up in the hills of Arizona where the ghost of Coyote moans among the stones, in an old man's land of rattlesnakes and wonder. That's where I've been thinking I belong. And oh, what I would give for a fast horse and a rolling thunder pushing from behind. Wide open spaces out before me, and not a single fence to break my stride. And not a single fence to break my stride. And not a single fence to break my stride. Thank you. Appreciate it. I've seen the snow on the Sangre de Cristos, glowing golden on the snow. Crystal water falling down the canyons to the river below. Aspen yellow shining in the morning, help a new day begin. I've got this feeling, what I believe in the mountain is healing me again. Up where the sky is blue as new denim, looking down on the clouds, so far away from the streets of Babylon, far from the maddening crowd. High on the South Fork, finding a new start, shedding my worries on the wind. I've got this feeling, what I believe in the mountain is healing me again. I've taken chances in dangerous places, straying away from the herd. I waded high water against law and order, ignoring discouraging words. I couldn't stand fences, I'm riding my senses up to the big sky again. 'Cause I've got this feeling, what I believe in the mountain is healing me again. I've got this feeling, what I believe in the mountain is healing me again. Oh, the mountain is healing me again. Yeah, the mountain is healing me again. Thank you. Been playing a new game, trying to remember my name. I've been walking in a cold rain, trying not to complain. I've been missing you, but it's okay, it's something to do. Been thinking about a new deal, wondering how it might feel late at night when the wind's still, hoping that it's not real. I've been missing you, but it's okay, it's something to do. Shuffle cards and deal a hand to lose in solitaire. Travel to some state of mind while sitting in this chair. I think of calling some old friend, but I'll bet he's not there. So I'm missing you for something to do. Been thinking about a new place, trying to find me a new face. Getting out of this old race, disappear with no trace. I've been missing you, but it's okay, it's something to do. Been thinking about a new day, trying to find me a new way. How long will this blues stay? How long till I don't say? I've been missing you, but it's okay, it's something to do. Shuffle cards and deal a hand to lose in solitaire. Travel to some state of mind while sitting in this chair. I think of calling some old friend, but I'll bet he's not there. So I'm missing you for something to do. I've been playing a new game, trying to remember my name. I've been walking in a cold rain, trying not to complain. I've been missing you, but it's okay, it's something to do. Thanks. Keep waiting for somebody to... I'll try this new one. Y'all won't throw stuff, will you? You took their guns at the gate, didn't you? This is called Who Would Have Thought It Was You. I didn't practice it, but... You keep praying for a miracle to save you, waiting for some angel to come down. As you analyze the darkness that surrounds you, and you wonder why your heart won't make a sound. Who would have thought it was you? Who would have thought it was you? After all of these years and all of your fears, who would have thought it was you? Lost inside a world that doesn't know you. Sadness like a veil to hide your face, and you think that no one's ever gonna find you and drag you from the wreckage of this place. Who would have thought it was you? Who would have thought it was you? After all of these years and all of your fears, who would have thought it was you? You've been hiding from the sun for such a long time that you're blinded by the brightness of the day. Now you wonder who it is that you've been fooling, when suddenly your heart begins to say, who would have thought it was you? Who would have thought it was you? After all of these years and all of your fears, who would have thought it was you? After all of these years and all of your fears, who would have thought it was you? Thank you. Well, I think I'm going to do one more and turn it over. This one's called Law of Gravity. Gravity, it's not just a good idea, it's the law. What I like about gravity, it's a law that everybody has to obey. There's a blood stain on the rainbow. There's a preacher on TV selling 8x10s of Jesus with a baby on his knee. And the Boy Scout on the corner is a member of the Klan. Got a hog leg in his trousers, Bible in his hand, singing, zip buddy doo dah, zip buddy yay. There's a bluebird on my shoulder, but he ain't got much to say. Rockabye baby way up in the tree. You're about to have a lesson in the law of gravity. Uncle Willie's playing football with Aunt Mary in the rain. Cousin Lou has been accepted by a home for the insane. And sister's in the attic with her movie magazines, wearing tattered fishnet stockings, dreaming of James Dean, singing, zip buddy doo dah, zip buddy yay. There's a bluebird on my shoulder, but he ain't got much to say. Rockabye baby way up in the tree. You're about to have a lesson in the law of gravity. Now the organ grinder's dying and the monkey's in a home. Computers mind the children in the land of styrofoam. And the madman in the mirror, he just looks at me and smiles. Thank God it's nearly Halloween, my clothes are back in style. Singing, zip buddy doo dah, zip buddy yay. There's a bluebird on my shoulder, but he ain't got much to say. Rockabye baby way up in the tree. You're about to have a lesson in the law of gravity. Everybody's got to learn about the law of gravity. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Yeah, am I through? Huh? Here's a song about getting in a dice game with the wrong person. It's kind of like the devil went down to Georgia except with dice. Well, I went down to Denby with a notion in my head. Gonna win the big one, boys, and quit while I'm ahead. I'd saved a month of wages and prayed to Lady Luck. So I reached into my pockets and I pulled out 40 bucks. There were 6 around the table and none of them were friends. So I waited for an opening and I eased myself on in. I took the bones and breathed a little life into my hands. Shook them up and threw them, then I raked my winnings in. And it went just like robbing banks with the police out of town. I was rolling lucky sevens and the snakes were not around. There was smoke across the table, whiskey on the wind, and I knew that anything this easy had to be a sin. But I kept them numbers coming like God was on my side. Another fool would sit down, I'd take him for a ride. Some of them would cuss my luck, some of them kept quiet. Some of them just slipped away into the dark of night. When the money started getting thin, I thought that I was done. Nobody dared to pick 'em up, man, I was on a run. Went through the door, a stranger walked from right out of the blue. Took the measure of the room and he pulled him up a stool. He was dressed in black, the shade of night, and he grinned like something wild. The look he wore upon his face was danger with a smile. He took out $20 bills and he looked me in the eye. I took out 20 of my own, I said just roll the dice. Then I took my turn and raked it in, I hardly had to try. I was hotter than a pistol on the 4th day of July. The game went on till nearly dawn, I never lost my streak. The only sound was clicking bones, 'cause no one dared to speak. Then the stranger pulled the biggest wad of money that I'd seen. Counted out 100,000, said I'll bet yours for these. But just one thing that you should know, if you decide to roll, if I should win, I want it all, and that includes your soul. Well, I drew my breath a little quick, then I shrugged it off. I looked at all that money, then I reached my hand across. I took them up and threw them just the way I'd done before. This time I rolled sixes, it was Katie bar the door. And the stranger, he rolled sevens, then he took it all from me. He raked in all his winnings, and he grinned and turned to leave. My rage was like a fever, I jumped him with a knife. When I was inches from his back, it burned my hand for life. Now I carry a reminder in that scar across my palm of all the money that I lost and the debt that's yet to come. So if you're prone to gamble, friend, consider this advice. Don't get greedy with them bones and never bet your life. Thank y'all so much. He's a teller of tall tales and a rider of fast trails. He's a searcher for treasure and a seeker of truth. He's a saint and a sinner. He's a loser and a winner, full of more contradictions than old Carter's got pills. He's the king of the cowboys. He's a rodeo rider. He's an old survivor of a losing hand. He's a little bit lazy and a little more crazy. And if you can't understand, you can leave him alone. He's a late night liar, full of BS and whiskey, but he's the best friend you can have when your back's to the wall. He's a Sunday school teacher and a blackjack player. Yeah, and just when you think you know, he'll be changing again. 'Cause he's the king of the cowboys, and he's a rodeo rider. He's an old survivor of a losing hand. He's a little bit lazy and a little more crazy. And if you can't understand, you can leave him alone. He's a dance hall Romeo and a honky-tonk hero. He's a poet on a one-night stand and a jack of all trades. He's a picker on an old guitar and a wisher on an evening star. And no matter how high or far, he'll be chasing those dreams. 'Cause he's the king of the cowboys, and he's a rodeo rider. Yeah, he's an old survivor of a losing hand. He's a little bit lazy and a little more crazy. And if you can't understand, you can leave him alone. If you can't understand a man, best to leave him alone. Thank you all. Where's everybody?
Who is everybody? Hey. Yes, we'd like to thank Jim for an extended set, and we'd like to get one
Thank
more out of him if we could. Says no problem. Jim Bush.
Thank you all so much. This is about as close as I've written to a commercial country song, maybe, but I don't think that makes it all bad. There's a slow rain falling in the Louisiana night, and the love light shining in your Louisiana eyes, with the perfume of the pine trees on a Cajun wind. If I don't get to heaven, I can always say I've been. Louisiana Paradise on a rainy night. I can hear an angel in your loving sighs. Cool breeze off the bayou, soft against your skin. If I don't get to heaven, I can always say I've been. Rainy rhythm on a tin roof, to the beating of your heart, making love after midnight in the Louisiana dark. Well, I don't know about life to come, not to where or the when, but if I don't get to heaven, I can always say I've been. Louisiana Paradise on a rainy night. I can hear an angel in your loving sight. Cool breeze off the bayou, soft against your skin. If I don't get to heaven, I can always say I've been. If I don't get to heaven, I can always say I've been. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Jim Bush, ladies and gentlemen. There we go again. Yep, sound man not on duty. Jim, where were you being asked? Where could someone catch you? Ah, the Busy Bee in Maypearl, Texas, the 23rd of April.
Before that, I'll be at the College Street Pub in Waxahachie Thursday after next.
Okay, Thursday after next at where? In Waxahachie.
College Street Pub.
The College Street Pub. Catch Jim Bush there. His CD is wonderful, by the way. Are they up at the table?
I'll get them to the table.
Great. Coming up, David Byboth, good friend of Jim's. As a matter of fact, we had the privilege last night of